Cool. Welcome back, Fun Fam, and if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to follow the Bradley's Fun. With me, your host, yours truly, Ron E. Bradley, coming at you from somewhere somewhat sunny USA. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. I hope that wherever you are, you're having a phenomenal day, morning, evening, afternoon, middle of the night, 3 a.m. in Hawaii, I think right now, 3:26. Oh, or it could be afternoon if you're in the UK, which is kind of funny because I know that I have sometimes people watching from Hawaii and then also people from watching from the UK, and it's like halfway around the world, and it's wild. Just Nita. Hey, what's up? Good to see you in the chat. Good morning, everybody. Normally we are trying to start this show. Speaking of the date, as of the recording of this, today is the 23rd day of June in the year 2025, and things are happening. Things are happening. Who knew that Bucky's Barbecue would get so many views from a short cut from a vlog that at the time only had a little over 100 views? I don't know if you guys are aware what's been happening on the channel, but I had my first. I don't know what's considered viral in the chat. Let me know what number you would consider, how many views something has to have be considered viral. I would love to know what your views are on that in the chat, because I honestly don't know. Is there some number where, if it hits this, it's considered viral? I would like to know, because I don't. If you guys have any thoughts on that or opinions on that? Anyway, right now, last look at it, it had 1.2 million views on a single short video that I put out, and it took me by surprise. I'll be honest with you. The last one that happened to started going up really, really well, and then it just got stopped by YouTube. But see, I don't know. There's got to be a number, Dita. I don't know what the number is. But anyway, my last one was Toothless and Hiccup, meeting Toothless and Hiccup, and then YouTube decided after 270,000 views, hey, we're going to change this to it's only meant for kids. And it literally cut the views off immediately. And so I just took it down because I'm like, I don't want anything that's on my channel that's considered to be just for kids, because it skews the whole channel and it's weird. Yeah, it was surprising to me, Nita, like 1.2 million views as of right now. Looks like it's still going up. Here's the weird part. Like, this is new to me as a content creator. Once you reach over 1 million views, you cannot see how many views it's going up by the individual view count. Like right now, I can only see when another 100,000 views hits, which is wild. You getting fancy? Honestly, I think it's all the people making comments about how it looks like the guy, spit on the barbecue because he was saying brisket on the board. Yeah, I would say that. Snorted poop is cuber. I hope everybody is doing well out there, though. I hope you are literally, truly having a phenomenal day. I'm got the comments on the stage right now. I'm kind of doing things a little bit different this morning. I had a delay. I meant to start the show at 9 o'clock, and then I'm like, well, I don't know with what interfered with the show. I wasn't 100% sure that I was going to be able to start it any earlier than 9:30. So then I put the programming out for 9:30, but I was able to start it a little earlier than that. So I'm here, and we've started, and we're going to get to box office news, theme park news, all that kind of stuff. Hello, Jill Powers, the River Daughter. Actually, I'm going to say hi to everybody in the chat in just a moment. And again, thank you guys for being here. You helped me wake up early on a Monday to be here with all of you. And I actually got to see them in person over the weekend. And if you saw my live stream, you know that I saw Bumblebee and Optimus Prime and Megatron in person at Universal Studios yesterday. Thank you guys for helping me meet the goal on that. But we saw our Transformers yesterday, and just like the Autobots and Transformers, the Decepticons of old, you guys give me the energy to be here in the form of Energon. You are my Energon that gets this guy to transform and roll out a bed to be here with you.
A toast, Autobots. Boy, these are good. I needed to refuel. Energy! Energy! This stuff's the greatest!
Yes, indeed. And I'm going to say hi to everybody that is coming in the chat. And just to let you know, yesterday on the stream, okay, so yesterday's stream at Universal was a result of hitting the goal last Monday. So we hit a goal of 5 on the channel. Now, my super chat goal on the channel, it's 99 cents and up. Doesn't really matter what you give. If we hit the 5, then it meets the goal. If we hit a big super chat, it also meets the goal as far as I'm concerned. It's not really, YouTube will say it, but it probably helps the algorithm. But anyway, so last Monday we hit the goal of 5 super chats, and then I said I will go to the park that you want me to go to stream. Well, I put out the poll on the channel, and the majority of people said Universal Orlando, so that's where I streamed yesterday based on that goal. But yesterday we had a goal on that stream, and you guys met that goal too, and so that is a Q&A for today. 5 questions, like personal questions from you guys in the chat, and I'll probably remind throughout the show that the questions are there, and then I'm going to try to pick 5 questions, personal questions that you have for me that you put in the chat, and I will answer those questions at the end of the show. I'll save some time back to do that. So, and we'll do a little bit more Q&A if we meet the goal for today, whether that is 5 individual supers or a bigger one. But we'll talk a little bit more about that when we talk about celebrating. But first and foremost, let's get to everybody that's here and has said hi, because the time got weird. So I appreciate you guys being here. But Snortapoopas Cuber was first in the house this morning. Hello, humans and other critters. Thank you for wrenching. Thank you for not, and when I say wrenching, I'm not talking about having eaten something and then you're like sick to your stomach. Not that wrenching, but wrenching as in being a moderator on the chat. So thank you for that, Snortapoopas, and there we had the, oh no, hope all is okay. Yeah, things are okay. I just had a short delay of something that I had to take care of. No big deal. Jeremy Heath is in the house. He says, hello, hello. Hello, Q, and hello, Ron. Canadian Family Life. Tiffany is here. Tiffany's in the house. I'm still curious about how loud that lawnmower is, Tiffany. And the reason I'm curious is because, of course, they don't use any of that stuff. Like where I am, lawnmowers come in, they're riding the machines, they're big, and they're loud, and they're obnoxious. And quiet lawn mowing. It's 2025. We should have quiet lawn mowing. That's all I'm saying. Tiffany put up a video on their channel that they got a robotic lawnmower, kind of like a iRobot, whatever. Kind of like the vacuums, except it's a lawnmower. Check that out on their channel. And Tiffany says, hey, Snort. Hey, Snort. And Just Nita has come into the chat. Just Nita, I see you. There it is. Put it up there. Hello, Just Nita. Indeed, whatever is fine. No, I like, seriously, I want to know if there is a definition to that. Pam Empson is here from across the pond. Hi, Ron and chat. Good to see you, Pam. Yeah, it was weird. I got so far 1.2 million, but until the next 100,000 hits, I won't know if it's 1.3. I could check. It's because it's early and it's on a Monday. Like, it was going up a lot yesterday, and I think that happened specifically because it was Sunday. But at this point in time, I'm guessing it's still, let's see here. It doesn't look like it's hit 1.3 yet, but it might. It might a little bit later today. Who knows? Maybe it'll hit 1.4, 1.5. I would love to see it get. So it's not my biggest, most watched video, surprisingly, but it's my most watched video on YouTube. So it's a short, over 1 million on YouTube. There's another snippet that I put out on TikTok that got 3.5 million views, but I'm not monetized on TikTok, so yay. but yeah, it's and I put the same video on YouTube and it only got 10,000 views. So like, what? I don't know. I don't know what makes one thing happen over another. Odd and interesting. I guess it depends on who's watching and where they're watching from and all that kind of stuff. But there it is. Yes, indeed. We've got a few more people saying hi to each other. Just Nita says, I'm getting fancy. I mean, I have no choice. This is what I'm doing for a living now. So I've got to get as quickly as possible to that 100,000 subscriber mark, and that point where we're good and sustainable. And because this is my job, like this is it now. And I will be here hopefully for the rest of my life if YouTube remains a thing, or I don't know. Who knows where this is going to evolve to, because just the way it's evolved over the last 2 years has been like, it's the ride of a life. You don't know what's going to happen, which is cool. Weird. I still haven't gotten that asset up on the channel. What is up? Fairbrick Studios in the house. Also from across the pond. And Jill Powers, the River Daughter. Hi, Ron. And again, Snortopoops Cuber, Just Need a Pam Empson, and Canadian Family Life. Indeed. Hey, Jill. Yes, this is true. A little spit on your brisket ain't going to hurt you. People are weird. Avarice Carmageddon is here, and Avarice says, aloha. Like I said, we got people watching on both sides of the planet right now, which is pretty awesome, I gotta say. And I see that, let's see, Jill and Pam and Equus Heart is here. Good morning, dear. Good morning to see you. Good to see you in the chat, Equus Heart. And welcome, Jill and just Snorty. And okay, so this is about the llama. It's very quiet, actually. That's what I wanted to know. Man, it's the kind of thing that I'm going to want. Again, Just Nita, do you ever? It's me. It's me, Just Nita. You know me well enough to know that I am definitely not getting too fancy for everybody. But I got to tell you about an idea I have, and I think you'll like it because it has to do with when I'm going to cut this off, and I think you'll really appreciate that. The atomic lawnmowers or leaf blowers come here every Thursday and annoy the heck out of a bear. Yeah. They used to have a regular day here, and they don't. So I don't even know what day it's going to happen on now. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Tom F is in the chat. He says, morning all. And across down. Tom Elf. But up. And he's saying hi to everybody. I think we've caught up with everybody. I'm assuming you guys can hear me. Let me check 1 2. And he's saying hi to everybody. I think we've caught up. Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 3 4. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's talk about celebrations. First of all, we're celebrating yesterday. Yeah. Tom, I am with you. Beats. Yesterday, I got the goal on, which was a goal of 5 super chats. Now, here's the way the goal works. The goal for me on my channel right now, 99 cents and up. If you can't afford the super, please don't super. Okay. If you can, great, wonderful, appreciate the support. The goal is there. I think it's more of a YouTube thing, but since they want something, I want to give you some something back for meeting the goal. Today, that's going to happen, and it's a Q&A. So any personal questions you have for me, about my family, about myself, about my experience with working for Universal or Six Flags or Disney or any of the theme parks that I've worked for. Anything you want to ask is up for grabs. And I'm going to pick 5 of those questions to answer at the end of this stream. Because that's the promise. I promised it for yesterday, and we made the goal. So here it is. I've extended that Q&A if we meet the goal, and we'll do it tomorrow as well. If we have 5 supers on the board by the end of the stream, we'll hit up the Q&A, and that's the way that's going to work. Now, besides super chats, if anybody becomes a member during the show, or there is a member milestone chat, or in fact, if sorry, Andy W is here. Good morning, Andy. Good morning, and my mom is here too. Kathleen Fantasia is here. How's everybody doing? My puppy had me up at 1 a.m. and 3:30 a.m. Yeah, my bladder was about the same, not my puppy. But so yeah, so if there's any super chats, super stickers, super thanks, or member chats, or somebody becomes a member milestone chat, somebody becomes a member, somebody drops gifted memberships in the chat, all those types of things. We're going to celebrate any of those. PayPal, buy me coffee, or support by buying something for the spread shop, and you let me know in the chat. We celebrate all those things. We invite you to celebrate with us. We do it with some dance and some fun, and we want you to celebrate with us in the chat, which means that you lay down some fun emojis in the chat, fireworks or birthday cakes or bears or whatever you want to put down in the chat. But if you are a member of the channel, you can use your custom emojis. And what is a celebration? Well, a celebration is going to look a little something like this.
Is it too much? Too much? It's just perfect!
Oh, this is just the best of my scene.
Yes, indeed. So when we celebrate, throw the customers in. I can't do it from my end because there we go. There's some emojis. Appreciate it, Snorter Poopers. I don't actually have the emojis available on StreamYard to put in the chat, which is kind of odd, but I'm doing it, it's from a computer, so I don't really have that there. But I do want to put this on the stage, and that is thank you, Joe Powers. All right, there's that celebration. And so this is our spread shop. If any of our mods have the spread shop link, you can put that in there. We have a sale happening for the next 3 days. If you purchase 3 items, you get 10% off. And we have our Make Disney Walt Again merchandise. We have our Fedora Finds merchandise. There will be another Fedora Finds video going up on the channel tonight at 5:45 p.m. Checking them out at 5:45. I'm actually thinking about doing an 8 o'clock p.m. live show tonight as well. I want to see. I need one night a week when I do a live show and I can get a really good panel on. I don't know if I can get a good panel. I want a panel on in the morning where it's going to be 3, 4, 5 people, and I want to see who's available for that. It's harder in the mornings. Everybody's getting ready for their day and different shows and stuff. Ooh, this is nice. I just now noticed this. That is a nice hoodie right there. The Follow the Bradley's Fun in heather gray. What are the other colors? Ooh, blue. That's a little too light. The gray's not too bad. Oh, and black and heather gray. But I really like that. I really like this one, the color of it. It looks nice. And on the back of it, you've got the QR code. People can sub to the channel that way. But yeah, so all of the spread shop stuff. Normally in the AM it's 9 o'clock, Tom, but PM I would like to do an 8 o'clock show tonight. I think Okay, so here's my deal. I'm really, really nice. So when I'm trying to find spaces to do my show, I try to make sure that I'm not interfering with anybody else's show. And the more content creators I'm friends with, the more difficult it is to make sure I'm not interfering with other people. Because we all have our stuff. So, but it's like I don't want to interfere with other people, and I want to get like 3 or 4 or 5 panelists on at a time. Sometimes this show works better without a panelist, and sometimes it works better with. And this is such a looser format of a show that I a lot of times will not have panelists on it, because the panelists on this show is the chat. You guys make the show. But yeah, yes, indeed. Good morning, Magic Adventures. Oh, thank you, Nita. I appreciate that. Yeah. So the short is the one that's going viral, and the full length video is it's got a lot more hits because of that. So it really is. And it's not so much scheduling the stream, but I want to do one where it's a panel type show and I can get used to doing it. It's hard to host a panel show. It's very, very difficult. So, because of all of the things that you're trying to do in the background as far as the production end of things. But it'll happen. It'll happen eventually. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm having fun, I'm hopefully getting a little bit better as time goes by. Having someone who just goes with the flow with no agenda. If you learn how to do this, just go with the flow. One of the best songs that you will hear at Disney World, and it's still good and it's still there, is Go With the Flow, as part of the Finding Nemo show. This song should be a mega hit that everybody knows, but most people don't know it unless they go to the parks. And it is a fantastic song. And it is sung by, of course, Crush. And it's not something that I want to try and do this early in the morning, because it's a really, really high song. And early in the morning, my voice is really low, like the ghost host. I'm your host, the ghost host. Yes. And I want to try to not do that if at all possible. So we shall see. We shall see. I can't do 10 o'clock at night because when Pro does 10 o'clock at night and I'm on the show the next morning, I'm like, anyhow, any questions that you guys have for me and for the Q&A, put those questions in the chat and I will try and star them and get to them at the end of the stream today. But again, anything that we get as far as the goal, or as far as new memberships or people dropping memberships or any of that kind of stuff, we celebrate. And just to get the practice in for everybody celebrating with emojis with us, here is another celebration trial run. Also because I'm waking up and I need it. Good morning to me. Let's celebrate. Yay! We have a celebration. Haunted Mansion ghost with the most. Jill, can you imagine if Beetlejuice hosted the Haunted Mansion? Hey, I'm your host, okay? I'm the ghost host, all right? All right. Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion. My name's Beetlejuice, and I'm your host, your ghost host. Notice that this chamber has no windows and no doors, which leaves you this chilling challenge to find a way out. Yeah, not gonna do it. Yeah, I think that voice, I don't know that would work for that. Notice that this chamber. Tom F's got an appointment this morning. Later, Tom. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Welcome, foolish mortal. Yes. Notice that this chamber
has no windows and no doors, which leaves you with this chilling challenge to find a way out.
Yes, I am the one who is guilty of doing the entire ghost host monologue along with the ghost host every time I'm in the Haunted Mansion. I can't help it. And fun fact, the howl that you hear in the Haunted Mansion that is supposed to be like a howling coyote, that was actually done by a human person being, and I know him. I know the person that did that. I know it's weird, but yeah. Not even close. Not even close, just Nita. It's one tiny little pointless short that just happened. I don't get it. I would love for all of my videos to do big things, but you know, weird. That's all I can say. But excuse me, coffee mornings. Yeah, it's tough. Anyhow, I'm here with you guys, and that's really you and Magical Mike do the entire monologue. Yeah, Mike. If I'm in there with you, we'll do it together. That'd be awesome. I'll absolutely, definitely want to ride that together. There are things that it's going to be hard keeping me coming back to the Magic Kingdom once Rivers of America is shut down because it's so tragic to me. But that, a couple things to do. They need to fix Tomorrowland in such a big way. Tron sitting in the back and the canopy getting dirty is not really a good thing. I really like. Then they're probably going to move the Monster Show over to Hollywood Studios, so Laugh Floor will become something different. I just wish Tomorrowland had more of a tomorrow feel or more of a futuristic feel. I don't know. We'll see. I still like Epcot, but as soon as Epic Universe has the annual pass, I will be there so much. Is it closing? Have they announced that the Hall of Presidents is closing, or is it just closed for right now? Let me see what the app says. I had not heard that it's permanently closing. But let me see what happens when I look it up. When I look up Hall of Presidents, it says closed for refurbishment. And it says right now, it says the Hall of Presidents will temporarily close for refurbishment on January 20th, 2025, and is expected to reopen later in 2025. Behold, all 45 presidents of the United States. Well, it's going to be 45. It actually still is 45. Yeah, the number of presidents would not have changed. Behold, all 45 presidents of the United States in a stirring show tracing that. I don't think that's going to I don't think that it's going to change the Muppets. I think they'll open it, but they'll probably maybe they're doing like a major revamp of the show. So, but yeah, I have heard what I think is happening to the Muppets is that the Muppets are going to do the show that they used to do there in Liberty Square. I don't think they're going to change Hall of Presidents to Muppets because it doesn't make any sense. You either have to have the Hall of Presidents as the presidents, or you have to change it into something completely different when they decide to completely eliminate Liberty Square. So, which they might do. Rivers of America Be Gone is awful. I noticed just last week riding the boat, the river had a lot of trash on the bank. That's so sad. Okay, so here's the deal. It's that service dog. Biden was the 46th president, but a president just like Trump before had been the president twice. So that president was two different numbers. So even though Biden was the 46th, when Biden was president, we had only had 45 different people who have been president. And that's true today. Even though Trump is the 47th president, there are only 45 actual presidents who were people. It's kind of an interesting thing because now two presidents in history have skipped, between them. Oh, more people are coming in. The Bud Files are here. Now we can start the show. The Bud Files are here. Let's get this on the screen. Actually, we're going to put this up. Out of the numbers, we're going to get the weekend box office report. All right. What time is it, by the way? Okay, we're good. We are good. The weekend box office report. How to Train Your Dragon is number 1 at the box office, guys. And it added theaters. Wow. Let's see how it's doing worldwide. Worldwide box office of How to Train Your Dragon, $358 million. Sorry, $358 million, 189. So probably very close to its break-even point. I'm not sure what the production budget was on that, but it's tracking pretty decent. It's right there in the middle of where it should be. We haven't seen it yet. We might go see that. I don't know. Elio, we're going to talk about Elio in a little bit. It's very unfortunate it's made $35 million at the worldwide box office. And apparently because this movie was made twice. This movie was almost finished with its production, and then they completely changed course in what they wanted the movie to be. And it's a huge flop so far, and it probably will remain so. Some people are really liking it. It may not be a bad movie. It may not be a horrible movie. I haven't seen it. I can't judge it. I don't know. But man, oh sakes alive, it's not doing well. That's for sure. It's actually a Pixar film, an original Pixar film, and it comes in number 3 on its opening weekend. That's got to be unheard of for a Pixar film. How to Train Your Dragon holds top at number 1. Let's look at the full weekend chart. All right, so How to Train Your Dragon, number 1 over the weekend. That is by Universal, and you can meet that dragon at Universal, at Epic Universe. 28 years later, which I think that's some type of a horror film. I don't know very much about it, but that was actually number 2. Elio, number 3, and Lilo and Stitch, the live action now, which is a very cute movie, and I really enjoyed it. It's number 4, and Mission Impossible number 5. So Mission Impossible is still going, but Mission Impossible, I don't know if it's going to make a profit. $500 million worldwide, but it costs a lot to get out there. It will probably profit over time, but it may not profit at the box office. Lilo and Stitch is definitely in profit territory with $910 million. I think this thing will hit $1 billion. I don't know what the final will be, but it's still going pretty strong. It's lost some momentum. If you look at the yellow line in the gray area, and the yellow line is hitting the lower part of the gray area, but it might be starting to trend upward again. So there are people who wait 4 or 5 weeks to go see this thing, because you can actually see a movie a lot cheaper once it's been out for a little while. So that's the weekend box office, and just finding it, I always find it very interesting to take a look at. And Long Rua has come into the chat. Hello, Long. Good to see you here. What did you come in at? Which not a single positive male role model in the movie. Which movie is that, Long Rua? Because we were discussing several there, so I don't know if you're talking about Lilo and Stitch or Elio. Uncle Ben and I'm okay. I might have missed something, but it looks like you're talking about maybe a Spider-Man movie. Oh, I noticed that it's never a male guardian in these stories. It's always an aunt or a sister or mother. You must have been talking about Lilo and Stitch. Yeah. They've even changed Uncle Ben into Aunt May being the inspiring figure in Peter's life. They did, but it's sort of in the background in our new Peter Parker that something did happen to Uncle Ben. They just don't talk about it, mostly because I think probably it actually makes it more sad that he's lost both. He's lost his parents and his aunt and uncle. It's actually, if you think about it, it's kind of worse. Hey, Jill. Hey, Burr. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Elio. Yeah. Yeah. And Elio, again, it's just like Lilo and Stitch, right? Elio lost his parents and now he's being taken care of by a female. I am concerned about Elio, about taking my kid to Elio, because it looks to me like Elio is about a kid that just wants to run away. And I don't know that that's an inspiring storyline that we want to give to kids. Elio running away, I don't know. That sounds like something not a good inspiring storyline. Hail at Long Road as usual. Yes, destroying the nuclear family and feminizing men. We need more movies, stories, television shows about how the traditional nuclear family is the strongest organization on the planet, because frankly, this is well documented, well studied out by science. The traditional nuclear family, mother, father, children, are in fact the strongest organization on the planet, and we know that for a fact. It's not even like it's not as if that were speculation. Let's see. Sorry, I was just checking something out. Another video I'd like to be on but can't do, timing wise. Yeah, it's not speculation, in fact, that that the nuclear family is the strongest organization. It's an absolute 100% fact that it is. Yeah, you separate families, but you're acting like this doesn't go on today. And unfortunately it does, and that is one reason why I am so. The biggest issue of today is human trafficking, and something needs to be done about it. Nothing seems to be getting done about it at all. Hi, Jill Powers, the River Daughter. Everybody's here. Everybody's saying hi to each other. So yes, I wanted to check out some stories, and I might only get, well, it's 10:04. Okay, we've got time for a couple. Well, this one's going to be interesting. This is an opinion piece by our good friend Marvin Montanaro. We're going to put this on the screen. This is out of thatparkplace.com, and bookmark it if you haven't done so yet. This is going to be such an interesting story. I haven't read it yet, but the headline grabbed me, so I wanted to go over it. Ultra wealthy white actor. I gotta give Marvin credit for this title. This is hilarious. It's by Marvin Montanaro, and it's an opinion piece, which it's a perfect title. Ultra wealthy white actor Mark Ruffalo thinks ultra wealthy white people are the problem in America, which means he's calling himself out, apparently. It's one thing to criticize wealth and power. It's another to do so while lounging on a $90 million fortune and enjoying all the benefits of elite Hollywood stardom. But that's exactly what Mark Ruffalo is doing in his latest appearance at a political protest. Proves that when it comes to hypocrisy, few in Hollywood do it better. Remember back to 2020 when all of the Hollywood people in their huge estates and they have all this room to move around and they're lounging and they're like, oh, we need to all help each other. We're all in this together. And they're not thinking about, families that are huddled into one bedroom apartments that can't go out, which millions and millions of people are in this country. It was ridiculous. But beyond that, over the weekend, Ruffalo joined and I'm pretty sure this was last weekend, but the No Kings protest, New York City, a demonstration time to coincide with President Donald Trump's military parade in Washington, D.C. and his birthday. These protests, held in multiple cities across the country, claim to be about anti-authoritarianism, but in reality, they featured a litany of familiar progressive talking points. From open border immigration to blanket condemnation of law enforcement and American institutions. And Ruffalo didn't waste the opportunity to single out his favorite scapegoats, rich people and white people, which he is both of them, which is hilarious. Quote, we get to see who is really making our lives unbearable and making us so desperate, end quote. Ruffalo, a multi-millionaire white man, told the New York Immigration Coalition, quote, it's not the immigrants, it's the billionaires, quote, end quote. He went on to say, quote, if you look at the statistics, most of the crimes committed in this country are by white people, non-immigrants, end quote. By the way, it's not true. But that's beside the point. He's clearly not looking at the statistics himself. Why would he? He doesn't have the time. He's too busy fluffing it up with parties in Hollywood. Ruffalo conveniently left out that in the statistic he's citing, Hispanic people are counted as white. This from the same white man who starred in multiple Avengers blockbusters, reportedly earning millions per film and benefiting handsomely from residuals, merchandise profits, and endorsements. As of 2025, Ruffalo's net worth is estimated to be a staggering $90 million. While not a billionaire, this figure places him squarely in the same ultra-wealthy class he spent the afternoon railing against. So where's the redistribution, Mark? This is so funny. If billionaires are the problem, why stop at them? Why not cut a check from your own tens of millions to support the causes you champion from behind a microphone? The answer, of course, is that Ruffalo, like many in Hollywood, practices what can only be described as champagne socialism, lavish wealth combined with self-righteous scolding of others who dare to enjoy far less. It's not just the contradiction of a multi-millionaire actor calling out wealth inequality. It's the pointed racial aspect too. Ruffalo specifically blamed white people. By the way, anytime you say it in the way that it's said that way, it's racism, as Pro would say, for the country's rising crime and social tensions, absolving immigrants while painting a broad brush over America's majority demographic. By the way, it's a slipping majority, so even then, it doesn't really matter much. America's a melting pot. Let's put in my own 2 cents here real quick. We're from all over, and the idea that anybody's being attacked for what is a superficial trait is ridiculous to me. It's always been ridiculous to me. When the 80s or 90s had come around, we really didn't talk about that issue because it was gone. Nobody cared. And it's only since around 2008 that it's really become an issue again for some reason, which is weird. I don't know why. I don't know what happened in 2008 and 2009 that it could have become such an issue again. Weird. You guys can figure it out, maybe. Let me know in the chat. For the country's rising social tensions, absolving immigrants while painting a broad brush over America's majority demographic. And so in doing so, he not only alienated a large swath of the country, but reinforced the growing perception that elite Hollywood voices are both out of touch and comfortable vilifying the very citizens they claim to defend. Ruffalo wearing a hat emblazoned with the word immigrant delivered more prepared remarks later in the day. And by the way, there's nothing with being an immigrant. I think being an immigrant and doing it the legal way is actually fantastic because my wife is one. So awesome. We love that. We don't like it when if you have a welcomed guest in your house, you probably welcome that in and maybe you're enjoying the company. And that's kind of what legal immigration is like. If somebody breaks into your house and start stealing stuff, you might not like it. And that's the illegal problem when they cross the border without any documentation. Sadly today, Donald Trump and the administration of billionaires, crackpots, and ICE brigades have taken over. He said, we have a king. No, but we don't. That's what's so ridiculous. He says, we have a king in his court and his beige henchmen, and they're trampling on our rights and our laws and our freedom. None of that statement is true. All of that is false. It's oh god. I'm a little bit frustrated about that thing because the whole premise of it was ridiculous. We have a duly elected leader that happened in November. He added, it's time to take our country back from the extremely wealthy, which I guess how is he taking the country back from himself, saying that power has its hands all over the nation, which he's one of the extremely wealthy. Again, $90 million. That's not the net worth of a working class revolutionary. That's generational wealth on par with the Wall Street bankers and venture capitalist Ruffalo claims to oppose. Critics were quick to point out the hypocrisy of Ruffalo. On social media, users blasted the actor for preaching economic justice while hoarding a fortune. Others called out the racial framing of his comments, accusing Ruffalo of scapegoating quote-unquote white people as a political talking point without offering solutions beyond vague calls for unity. And then Ruffalo, here's the tweet of the just for the record, history is repeating this. And by the way, that is so false. Anyway, it's a pattern that's become all too familiar from the Hollywood elite. Moral posturing without personal sacrifice, whether it's celebrities flying private jets to climate conferences or actors living in gated communities while calling to defund the police, the disconnect between rhetoric and reality continues to grow. And Ruffalo has a long history of this. He's been a vocal supporter of extreme far left causes for years, often taking swipes at conservative capitalists and even fellow entertainers who don't share his political views. Yet, despite the moralizing, there's little sign that Ruffalo is willing to lead by example unless you count virtue signaling on red carpets and interviews as some kind of public service. In the end, Ruffalo's latest remarks at No King's protest underscore a truth many Americans already understand. Hollywood's calls for equity and justice often come from atop a golden pedestals. And when someone worth $90 million lectures the public on evils of wealth and the sins of an entire race, it's not a revolution. It's just another performance. Yeah, I like Ruffalo is one of the worst. Cheadle is also pretty bad at this stuff. What the heck? I just realized that comments are not showing up. There they are. I don't know what happened there. But yeah. I don't love smug actors. And it's funny because I've enjoyed Ruffalo in the role as Banner in Hulk. I didn't really see him doing any activism before he had that major role. Honestly, Ruffalo was somewhat of a struggling actor, but he hadn't really done anything major or super high paying or put himself really far out there until he got the role of Banner in the Hulk. So I don't know. Long Rose says, is it too late to contact Eric Bana? That's funny. It's hard for who knows? Eric Bana may be brought back in this multiverse stuff. It's also hard for people to look at the per capita numbers. Population 75% of the nation. If all equal, crime should reflect it, but a minority percent should not be higher in crime stats. Shouldn't be, but it is. But it really doesn't. The problem with the stats and everything is it doesn't. It's the superficiality of how somebody looks is very, very different than how somebody is raised and in what culture they were raised. I'm talking about cultures within the United States of America. There are there's like very high level urban culture, and there's a problem with big cities because so many people live together in that congestion, and it's I really truly believe it's true that people that live kind of out on the farm and they have that farm life, they're probably a lot happier. Yeah. Imagine if you replace rich white people with another certain demo known for being rich and successful. Yeah, I mean, another demo that I can think of is Asian people. There are a lot of rich, very rich, successful Asian people. Yeah, 08. That's there was a change in 08. I agree with you there, that service dog. Ruffalo, not nearly as smart as a buffalo. I know, my gosh. Yeah, this one is kind of ridiculous. Yep. That's really funny too, because I mean, King Charles, not necessarily, because I don't really know that king has any power in England other than the title, but still, it's funny to me because we don't have a king at all here. This one, Pam Empson says the lockdown showed us we are all in the same, and celebrities obviously learn nothing from it. Their opinions count for nothing these days. We have stopped listening to them. It's true. I don't listen to a lot. There's a few that I appreciate their opinions, like Dean Cain and Kevin Sorbo and Zachary Levi, and John Voight, who is awesome. Love John Voight, who's a phenomenal actor, by the way. But yeah, this stuff is kind of ridiculous. So I don't really understand it. I've got one more story to get to. Let's I'm going to do this. Well, I will tell you. We're going to have nobody's chatting me any questions to ask for the Q&A, which is fine. If there's no questions, I can't do a Q&A, but so, feel free to ask away. But also, I do want to do another celebration before we leave today. We're not out of here yet. But we want to do one more story for you guys. And of course, it is the headline story that we kind of have to do. It's a Disney thing. I hate seeing this. It's not really good news. Definitely not good news for Disney. But it's the kind of thing that we try to keep the news fun as best we can. We try to tell the bad news in a good way if we can.
I have news.
What type of news is it?
Well, to be perfectly frank, it's bad.
Maybe if you tell me the bad news in a good way, it won't sound so bad.
The bad news in a good way. Yes, I can do that. Oh, well, here goes. Wait till you hear this.
I love that clip. I can't help it. I love that clip. That's hilarious to me. The bad news in a good way, guys. The newest Pixar movie is out, Elio, and it seems like the people that are going to see it, most of them are enjoying it. Some aren't. It actually got a decent review by our good friend WDW Pro, putting it on par with A Bug's Life. But the thing is, not a lot of people are going to see it. I'm not sure why. I don't know if that's the whole Disney Pixar reputation or what, but it is, in fact, I believe, so far, the biggest flop in Pixar history. So we're going to get this on the screen for you. This is outofthatparkplace.com. Please do bookmark it if you haven't bookmarked it. Indeed, Elio becomes worst Pixar opening of all time with $21 million domestic opening at the weekend box office. This is by our good friend Marvin Montanaro. And there is Elio, apparently seeing the box office number and how bad it is and how low it is. And that's his expression going, oh my gosh, we really need to do better. Maybe this thing will have legs. I don't know. What is he holding there? Is that like a cup with a bunch of crazy straws? Pixar has officially hit a new low with Elio opening weekend box office. The animation studio, once hailed as the gold standard of cinematic storytelling, has now delivered the worst opening weekend in its 39-year history with Elio, a space-themed original film that limped to just $21 million domestically and $14 million internationally, making for a mere $35 million global debut. Oof. From what I've heard about how much this thing cost to make and market, that's not a really good start. For a company that once kicked off weekends with over $180 million in ticket sales, this marks a stunning fall from grace. The real sting, Elio was supposed to be the heartwarming return to original storytelling. Instead, it's now a cautionary tale. While Pixar's corporate parent Disney is publicly confident the film will leg out like last year's surprise performer Elemental, which eventually grossed nearly $500 million worldwide, early signs suggest that Elio won't enjoy the same second wind. That film opened stronger than Elio with $29.6 million in North America. Even the underperforming Lightyear pulled $50.5 million domestically on debut. A budget black hole? Disney and Pixar have been officially pushing Elio as a $150 million production, but multiple Hollywood insiders are disputing that figure, suggesting the real number could be closer to $300 million after extensive rewrites, last-minute restructuring, and costly production delays. While reshoots aren't the typical term in animation, the concept still applies. Major scenes were reportedly reanimated or repurposed multiple times as the film struggled to find its tone and identity. Even before its release, industry whispers pegged Elio as a troubled project. Creative and cast turnover during production, along with a pressure to balance heartfelt storytelling with a marketable sci-fi spectacle, may have contributed to its uneven reception and bloated reported production costs. Box office bloodbath. This is bad. When the term for the box office is a bloodbath, that is not a good thing. Adding insult to injury, Elio was completely steamrolled by the competition. In its second weekend, DreamWorks live-action How to Train Your Dragon live-action remake brought in $37 million, outpacing Elio by a wide margin. Meanwhile, Danny Boyle's long-awaited zombie sequel 28 years later snagged $30 million in North America and a staggering $60 million globally, nearly doubling Elio's entire worldwide take. Oof. It's a brutal reminder that even glowing cinema score results, Elio scored an A with kids giving it an A+, can't save a film without a strong opening punch. And most critics label the film as forgettable at best and the worst Pixar film of all time at worst. A franchise first future? Pixar has recently found itself thriving almost exclusively with sequels. Inside Out 2, released last year, stunned with a $155 million opening and has since soared past $1.7 billion globally. That contrast only makes Elio's future more stark. Oh, wow. There's the gang from Inside Out. Original storytelling, once Pixar's hallmark, has become a financial gamble, and one the company increasingly seems less willing to take. With Toy Story 5 and Finding Marlin already in the works, it's clear where the studio is betting its future. The final verdict, Elio may find a second life on Disney+, but his theatrical run has already made box office history for all the wrong reasons. Whether the film eventually climbs to steeper hit status or fades into the void of forgotten Pixar titles
one thing is clear. The studio that redefined animation is facing a galaxy-sized crisis when it comes to launching new ideas. So, question for you, have you or will you, have you seen Elio? Did you see it over the weekend? Will you see it? If you haven't seen it yet, are you planning to go see it, to take your kids? We might go. I haven't made the final decision yet. Looks like it's maybe a decent movie to go take the kids to. Will it leg out? And what are your thoughts about Disney, Pixar, and the potential destruction of a brand? Let us know in the comments down below. Yes, please do. Let us know down below before you go out the door. And thank you for checking this one out today. Yeah, it doesn't look good. So the only thing I like about it was the pretty space scenery. Aha, we have a question for me. And let me start it. Because we want to get to more later, but that's the only one that I've seen so far that is a personal question. They already destroyed the Toy Story IP. Yes, they did. It's, boy. All right, so let's see. Pam says that the king has some powers. That's King Charles. He can shut down Parliament at the stroke of a pen. Oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah, we don't have that issue here. We don't have a king. Of course not. That's what's so funny. That's what's so funny about all the protests. It's like, we don't have a king. Trump's not trying to act like a king. What he's doing is there are certain powers in his branch of government. They're called executive powers, and he has the ability and the power to issue executive orders. Now, if any of those executive orders are in fact overreached, there are other powers that check that, whether it's the judicial branch or our I can't think of the term. The executive Congress. Congress, yes, Congress can check that. It's ridiculous. And Andy W says, I won't see it, but my daughter took my granddaughters yesterday and they liked it. Yeah, for as far as I can tell, kids seem to be liking the movie. It may not be a bad movie. I don't know. Yes. So he doesn't exactly. Trump is our military commander in chief. He doesn't have to run everything through Congress. That's absolutely 100% true. I was checking out the laws on that myself, and I'm like, look, anything that protects the interest of Americans, he has the right to do, kind of on his own. So yeah, progressives aren't used that. Yes. So the last 4 years, this is a very interesting issue that serves. The last 4 years, we didn't have a real president. It's true. It's 100% true. We now know this because we know about AutoPen and we know about the former administration's health. We know that other people were, in fact, actually doing the work and the job. That is undeniable and indisputable. So that is true. The progressives aren't used to that. I have a feeling that is why he was selected in the first place. The last guy, not our current guy. He was selected because they didn't want a president at all. They didn't want somebody to preside. It's just like it's crazy. Like, it's super, super crazy. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't give her the time of day. I'm not even mentioning the name. I'm not even mentioning the name. But let me get to the one question for the Q&A part, and I'll take more, Q&As in the future, especially if we get more supers coming in. But I'm going to put this one on the chat. How did you meet Virginia? There's a very simple answer to this, and it's you're going to think it's a weird answer, but I met Virginia on Facebook. Yeah, she was a friend suggestion. And at the time, we were both involved in doing a workout series called P90X. Since then, we've actually both won money from the Beachbody Company for our initial transformation. Now, this is 15 years ago, but I think I lost 60 pounds. She lost like 40, 50 pounds doing P90X. Got into great shape back then. Don't even know that I could do the P90X workouts because they're tough. It was not so bad when I was 38. It's a little bit different at 53. But yeah, so that's how we met. And we turns out we were both associated with the same coach. And he knew both of us on Facebook, and that's how it's, but yeah, we initially met on Facebook. I sent her a friend request. She accepted. I started chatting with her, and then we started talking on the phone. And one thing led to another. Jill did you just admit that you're 63 years old, Jill? You said it, not me. So I'm 53. I'm guessing that makes you 63. So, but yeah, that's how we met, and it was 2010. It wasn't because of Facebook dating or anything, but they try to do that for it wasn't because of that. Well, happy birthday, happy upcoming birthday on the 7th of July. But yeah, that's it. And so then after we met, she came to Orlando, spent a week here. We started dating, and eventually she was living in New Jersey at the time, so it was a back and forth relationship. And eventually then we got engaged, and then we got married. We met in late 2010. We got married in 2011, late 2011, September 30th. And so we're coming up on, let's see, what would that be? We're coming up on our 14th wedding anniversary is coming up. So yeah, good times. I love my beautiful wife. And you guys all admitting your age. This is another thing I feel like it's conservatives that do this more, but we don't really care. Snortopubis Cuber says he's an ancient bear, so he gets the oldest. Guys, let's do one more celebration before we send you off. I love to celebrate all of the supers and the gifted memberships and all those kinds of things, but I'm still celebrating you even when those don't happen, because you're here, and that makes all the difference in my life. So thank you so much for being here, and we're going to celebrate with the Culture Bear. We got Culture Bear indeed. We always got to celebrate with either Snortopubis Cure Bear or Culture Bear. Now, in the future, though, I got to warn you, if I don't see the supers, I might threaten you guys with summer sizzle. I haven't put it up yet, so yeah, don't worry about it. But yes, indeed. Guys, thank you so much for being here. There should be a new video out. I put a new video on the channel last night at 5:45 on Lilo and Stitch and what the director said about that. So check that out if you get a chance. 5:45 tonight, we should be dropping another new video. By the way, yesterday, if you remember, like Andy W's a member, some of these videos that I'm putting out, and as I get more members of the channel, I will do this. I am giving early member access to. So yesterday's video, members had early access to it pretty much all day. I think I put it out like 9 o'clock, and then I put it out for members at 9 o'clock all day. Members had access to it, and then 5:45 is when it goes out to the public. So I think I'll be doing that in the future for a lot more of these videos. When I have them ready early, I'll put them out for members first. So if you are a member of the channel, you get early access to some of the best stuff going out here on Follow the Bradley's Fun. Yes, indeed. Guys, thank you so much for being here today. And check us out tonight. Tomorrow's Pro Day. And I don't know, we're doing so many different, I have so many ideas bubbling in my head about what to do with the channel next. So we shall see whatever happens on the channel next. Thank you for being here and being with me along the way. I appreciate every single one of you. And so until next time, we will see you real soon. Bye, everybody. Ciao. Thank you. Bye.